straight from the top. Ready or not, I got my bros straight from the top. Ready or not.
Ready? No, I got all my bando, no. I'm just making all this money, yeah, I'm cashing up. All my niggas in the street tryna get it all. All my niggas by the guap, yeah, we get it all. This shit, hundreds, no. Making money, oh no.
Bathi khuluma nabo mfana bathi kamakadlali ngani kwalelo aka umfana kaShokolate Kid Leo bathi pu ungajumpisi. It's another day, it is another Sunday, it's the Global Sunday Show, baby. I don't know if you guys can hear me clearly at home, but please drop me a comment. Drop me a comment below. Let me know if you can hear me clearly. It's the Global Sunday Season 2, 2022. But it's the first month. I can't wait for the second month, which is February, so I can just use like a lot of twos. Two. The second day, the second month, 2022, Season 2, and I'm also turning 22. Next month. So yeah, I'm that young. Today is gonna be fun as always. Today we are speaking gospel language. Oh my God! It's Sunday, and we're gonna be humbling ourselves, speaking gospel language, talking about I'm sure we're gonna be talking about a lot of spiritual things. We're gonna be connected, grounded. And we're going to be refreshing our souls. We're going to be refreshing our spirits, I'm not going to tell you who it is that we have, but if you are following our pages, you already know what's going to happen. But also, we are going to be, welcome somebody who is new, has been, working so hard behind the scenes. And she is our Diverse TV brand ambassador. And she's going to be joining us today, I don't know if people are ready, but I do want to say this before I introduce my co-host. I just want to say to you guys, I'm really excited to introduce to you guys a new television show. It's a talk show, and it's called Articulation. We'll start streaming live on the 23rd of this month, which is January. So that's really, really exciting. It has a number of amazing international artists and South African artists, high profile and upcoming artists. It's like, it's so amazing. A fusion of a whole lot of different beautiful things. And, we're going to be in a panel and talking about issues that we come across in different communities. I mean, this applies not only to South Africa or South Africans, but it applies to the globe, because we all facing the same issues, and we gotta get together and work this out. But you know what? I do want to play a video before I introduce my guest, because I'm gonna do a drum roll. My guest and my co-host. I'm gonna play a video. By Tilo. We interviewed her, I think it was last week, if I'm not mistaken. I call her an African girl. I'm just going to play this, and when we come back, I'm going to introduce you to my co-host and my guest, Lungani Kwala, Season 2 of the Global Sunday. I'll be right back.
The Lord on high is mightier than the noise of many waters. Yea, than the mighty waves of the sea. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, his ways are higher than ours. Yebo, uphakeme.
Sanibonani, South Africa and beyond. Kamalamu nomthandazo wakandwalani. Nginkosazana eyazalelwa kaShangase. Yashadela koSibukwane just not so long ago. Ukuzalwa ngowase-Westgate eMaritzburg, KwaZulu Natal. Mangiqhamuka ne-African Thunder ngithi ngifunani, ngifuna ukukhuluma izitori zama-Afrika. Akungabe yami lento, akube yawo ama-Afrika. itanda ngifuna kube indundumo yezulu elizoduma umhlaba wonke mabesibuka senza lento bazoshintsha indlela kade beyibona ngayo iAfrika. Niyayazi ukuthi iAfrika ibonakala kanjani emazweni. Kodwa mina lento esizama ukuthi siyenze la ukuthi sishintshe indlela enibuka ngayo iAfrika. Oma bethu, obaba bethu, omkhulu bethu, okhokho bethu bayibeke induku ebandle futhi bekiwe that standard, that bar that they've set us high. They fought for us to have the opportunity to raise our bar even higher. So what are we doing? We're changing the way that the world sees Africa.
Like this. Princeton's gon' make it hot, Colombo's gon' rock the spot. Come on, Anderson. Princeton's gon' make it hot, Colombo's gon' rock the spot. Come on.
Right. You're so fine, you know that. Holla at it, dude. Holla at it. You don't know what it is. I told myself quit being a loser, Pete, handle your biz. I seen you with your girls licking a lollipop, high heels, mini skirt, shading, damn you hot. You're so thick, I'm like laying so sick. Cause the ring on your belly and match your bracelet. I got a thing for you, boy, I'm an old school fella. Normally when I like a chick, I won't tell her. I like the way that you move when you dab. Pop it and drop it and then you move your head. Naughty with it on your face, I get excited, I wanna get a taste. I can't behave when I see you. Girl, I got it so bad, so sexy you are. Can I get closer? I know you see me watching. I bet you can like touching, kissing, doing something. Can I get closer? I know you see me watching. I bet you can like touching, kissing, doing something. It's the verse 2, it's about me and you. Let's leave soon, I gotta show you how I do. Touching and kissing, oh I know you like that. Dancing from behind you, damn right, you got a nice back. See, I'm a cool type of dude and you know it. I get money treated like dice and I blow it. I got my own spots, you can run around and quickie. Tell me secrets if you like, give me hickey. Dudes was hollering and you ain't say nothing. P was chilling, girl, and he ain't say nothing. I knew the eye contact really meant something. If there wasn't anybody here, we'd probably start. I can't behave when I see you. Girl, I got it so bad, so sexy you are. Can I get closer, girl? Can I get closer? I know you see me watching, touching, baby. Something. Can I get closer? I know you see me watching, touching.
Can we get closer? Boy, you've been watching. I know you're thinking something, though it seems I'm fronting. Can we get closer? Boy, you've been watching. I know you're thinking something, though it seems I'm fronting.
Go ahead, mommy, move that thing. I just wanna get down there and do that thing. I just wanna dance with you, stay in your eyes, get into your world and take you by surprise. You're the type of chick not to play with on the real, you know. Like if I leave you tomorrow, you let my building blow. Hit the line between what we're doing here tonight. Let's get the most of it and get it right. Can I get closer? I know you see me watching. Close to you, touching, baby. Can I get closer? I wanna be so close to you. Touching.
hot. Colambos gon' rock the spot. Come on, Anderson. Princeton's gon' make it hot. Colambos gon' rock the spot. Come on.
To arrive in style, first you have to arrive.
Don't understand what's going on here.
The all-new 4th generation.
This is Lungani Gwala, aka Chocolate Kid Leo. Join our growing show, The Global Sunday. We stream live on YouTube every Sunday, 11:30 a.m. for American MT time. African time, 8:30 p.m. every Sunday. We host special guests. We give you latest news, global news, and the entertainment news. Click the link below if you want to find out more. Thumbs up and some hearts. Cheers.
Hi, my name is Ashley DeChristina. I go by Ash. Make time for what you love and for the people you love. Thank you for watching Global Sundays with Lungani.
What up, world? My name is Jesse Villegas. I'm originally from Phoenix, Arizona. Currently, I reside in Prescott, Arizona. I own and operate a coffee shop called The Porch. Work hard and be kind. And you're watching Global Sunday with Lungani.
For those that don't know me, I'm a singer. I'm a singer who loves God. You know, I'm that singer who loves God. I sing with Him every time I ever sing. So I'm that singer that tells a story.
With anything in life, there will be challenges, there will be hurdles and stumbling blocks. But I honestly think to make it, you need perseverance, number one. Secondly, you need dedication.
Angeke ngithathe nje ithuba ngeke ngixolise nje ngithi we are so sorry ukuthi we delayed a little bit. New year, new things. I know currently the comments are not showing on the screen, but hopefully soon they will show up. But yeah, I can see what you guys are saying on Facebook. If you want to comment on our YouTube also, you can comment. I'll be able to see your comment. But sikhuluma nabo mfana batshela ukuthi kwenzakalani. Ngiyambona ubonge umsomo lapha ethi askis. Uyalazi udaba na umama Mia yakhala uthi hey fam, network is horrible. I know. You know, there's things that we cannot control. You know, if it's terrible, it's terrible. You know, you gotta call your service provider. They are the only people who can handle it. But anyways, I am ready to introduce amakhosi ami alindile ngibhekile ethi ju all the way from Australia, Mr. David William Pike. All the way from South Africa, our Diverse TV ambassador Lee Thae. All the way from Arizona, USA, Mr. Ken Laden. And all the way from Germany, people to fill in the building. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. And I did not mean to end the show already. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? It seems like I don't have your audio though. Let me see if I can get your audio. Can you say something now? Oh wow. Okay, all right. We're gonna sort that out. Let's take a short break. I'm just gonna play this video. There's a beautiful video from Princeton. It's called "Welcome to Durban." You know by now, Durban is my favorite place. KZN is my favorite place. So yeah, if you get mad at me, you get mad at me. We have the ocean, we have beautiful buildings, and we have beautiful people too, and beautiful culture. So if ever you wanna go to South Africa, Durban is the first place that you should go to. You know what? I'm gonna sort the sound issue, and then I promise you, when we come back from this video, you will be able to hear, not only see, but also to hear my co-host there at the studio. Let's watch this video, and then when we come back, we are going to have fun. Enjoy.
Everything paid for, it's on me. You ain't gotta stress cause you're VIP. Penthouse suite, fresh white sheets. Whatever you like, girl, it's your treat. Shotgun in a guinea. Hit the beach in your tiny bikini. Rickshaw ride, cow skin vibe. Swim with the sharks, baby, it's alright. Girl, you're looking fly today. In every kind of way. Muscany falsetto. Let me take you to the ghetto. You could be my tidal wave. Take me away. Girl, what you say? It's a beautiful day. Welcome to Durban. Welcome to my city, yeah. Welcome to Durban. Durban. Welcome to my city, yeah. Pop champagne, no pity. The sun never sets in my city. We can do shots, yacht life vibes, oyster box, you decide. Life's different near the water. Anything you want, you can order. Copter rides over the ocean. We in slow motion. Girl, you looking fly today. In every kind of way. Muscany falsetto. Let me take you to the ghetto. You could be my tidal wave. Take me away. Girl, what you say? It's a beautiful day. Welcome to Durban. Welcome to my city, yeah. Welcome to Durban. Durban. Welcome to my city, yeah. Ooh, Durban City. Durban City. Durban City. Durban City. Durban City. Durban City. Durban City, Durban City. Ooh, Durban City, Durban City, Durban City.
Ready? No, I got all my bands on, no. I'm just making all this money, yeah, I'm cashing up. All my niggas in the street tryna get it all. All my niggas by the guap, yeah, we get it all. This shit, hunters, no. Making money, oh no.
Welcome back, and I do believe now all of our fans around the world are able to hear us this time. Technology is really, really something to deal with. It reminds me of the American comedian C.K. Lewis, who was in an airplane and somebody started complaining because the Wi-Fi signal wasn't good, and he turned around and said, "You're at 35,000 feet sitting in a chair watching a movie. Stop complaining." So even though it is challenging, technology allows us to be together, and it allows us to join as a world community. And with our gospel influence this week, it's all about feeling it together, being together. And so this week we all have something in common. We've all now been alive 1 week in 2022. And for me, that has been wonderful. We've had people as here from around the world after a long time of not seeing each other in person. And that's wonderful for me. And today we have Lisa, who is one of the ambassadors. And for those of you out there who don't really know about that, to make this show happen, there is a team of people around the world who are helping us. They're going out, they're letting people know about this show, they're letting us know when the feed is good on Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is, and they're helping us develop content, they're helping us know what the focus is that we need to do. So Leela, let's welcome you. Bravo, you're one of our wonderful ambassadors, and now you get to know what it feels like to be here on the panel with us. How was your week?
Welcome. Good day, everyone. This is Lihle. I'm from South Africa. My weekend was great. My week was great. It was work, but it was amazing. How was your week?
Who's next?
Next on the road. I'm from Australia, but actually not talking to you from Australia. I'm in Arizona. We've got myself and people from Germany, so it's quite challenge to travel internationally, especially from certain countries and paperwork. But if you're lucky enough to make through all those obstacles, we've been able to reconnect with Ken, who's been locked up here for a good while, maybe even 2 years, you said. Yeah. So that's what we're broadcasting from, and we're not encouraging people to go traveling, but what we are saying is it's 2022. So the world is still changing and hopefully heading in the right direction anyway and improving. And we do need to be connected. We're just lucky that we can do this in face-to-face and together at the moment. So, yeah.
And for those of you who are into the New Age movement, we're going to next ask Pipo how his week was, and we can see his aura flashing, many different colors behind him. How was your week, Pipo?
Hello, everybody. Nice to be back on the Global Sunday. Hi, Longani. Hi, Lihle.
Hi.
I'm working on my, accent. We Germans do ska, so we might get on pretty well together in terms of language. It's been very good to get over to 2022. I'm much looking forward to it. Also, you see my auras flashing. That means, as always, I have many things on my head, apart from my glasses, many ideas. Working together, we went to see rehearsal of the Arizona Philharmonics. That was beautiful. Being in the space, 2 persons in a 1,160 persons seats theater. What a luxury.
And very COVID appropriate, I think.
Very COVID appropriate. And it was beautiful to see those people were talking and explaining, and suddenly they all start to move, music comes. And you go like, this is amazing. The sound is so different to anything that you hear from a recording. maybe I'm just not rich enough to get a very good hi-fi system, but for me personally, being in that space and listening to the musicians was, oh, I felt so touched, so beautiful. If you ever have a chance, and even if you respect the hygiene protocol and can go and see something, or maybe go outside and be in the nature, it is so important. It refreshes the soul. And for those who are not able to do that, hang in there, you will get there. Also Lungani is trapped in his studio, so hopefully you will be able to get out of there again, Lungani. You're dealing with all those important tech stuff, but also you are Superman host. It's fantastic what you're doing. So, Lihle, what do you do? Can you tell us about you? What kind of stuff are you into?
Besides being an ambassador for Diverse TV, I am a travel logistic consultant. I work at Torvest. So we do bookings, travel bookings. It's a travel agency. So yeah, that's me.
You are one of the persons who saved my life because I booked through a travel agency this time, and there was heavy weather in Denver, and also the flight got changed. And when you have to do that through a computer and a web interface, it's very complicated. I could call a real person. Oh my God, you can't imagine how good it is to have people like you in reality speak with us,
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So
we are.
Okay. Mr. Mrabalala. Okay, so we are going to have a very special guest today. He comes to us as a leader in the gospel music world, and I'm going to really say his name wrong. I'm going to call him Mr. K, but his name is Mrabalala, I believe, Mrabalala K. And welcome to the Global Sunday.
Thank you for welcoming me. Thank you all. Now my surname is Mrabalala, Mrabalala. Yes. Yes, I'm in South Africa. Good day to you, Miss Fisher, and good day to you, gentlemen in the studio. Thank you.
So, I believe Leila, it's you're up next to talk to welcome our guest.
Mr. Mrabalala, I would like to thank you for coming to the studio today. It's such an honor to be with you here today. I've learned a lot about you and your great music. So welcome to the show, Mr. Mrabalala.
Mr. Mrabalala, it's good to meet you.
Really appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Welcome to the Global Sunday, and we will be looking forward to hear more from you. And for now, we will go to the news, and I will toss it over to Ken Lullen.
Welcome to Global Sunday News.
Straight from the top, ready or not. I got my bros straight from the top, ready or not.
Ready? No, I got all my bando, no. I'm just making all this money, yeah, I'm catching up. All my niggas in the street tryna get it all. All my niggas by the guap, yeah, we get it all. This shit, hundreds, no. Making money, oh no.
Welcome to the Global Sunday News. Today is January 9th, 2022, and reporting for TGSN, I'm Kenneth Ludden. Our top stories this week highlight the global tensions between governments and their citizens. We begin in Kazakhstan, where widespread poverty and oppressive governmental policy primed that nation to pre-revolutionary tensions. That all exploded this past week when there were shootings and there were shortages, and a massive price change for fuel used to heat homes and cook food. And remember, Kazakhstan is in the mountainous area of Siberia. It is very, very cold there. And people started to, the tension that was between the people and the government exploded. And in their capital city, violent demonstrations broke out, as well as other major cities. The violence has been focused on the current president, a holdover from when Kazakhstan was a Soviet state. There has been widespread looting, rioting, and many buildings and vehicles have been set aflame, destroying huge governmental buildings and the entire presidential complex. Now, earlier this week, the Russian leader, Vladimir Putin, sent thousands of Russian troops as a peacekeeping force, which meant to silence the revolution against the unjust practices of the government. Having gone into hiding, the Kazakhstan president 2 days ago announced a proclamation that police could fire live ammunition into crowds without warning, escalating the violence and causing widespread loss of life. Meanwhile, in the United States, the one-year anniversary of January 6, 2021, when the Trump insurrection coup against the United States government and its democracy was at the nation's capital. The anniversary has now come and gone without a major incident. This is largely due to the fact that the disgraced former President Donald Trump canceled a press conference from his current home in Florida at the last moment. We are told that this is because his advisors said it would look bad for him. So, of course, he didn't do it. A press conference was held by the current president, Joe Biden, however, who strongly stated that former President Trump's lies and egomania were a disgrace to the United States and our history, and distinctly anti-democracy and downright un-American. Meanwhile, the congressional committee formed to investigate last year's insurrection had moved closer and closer to Trump himself. At the same time, Attorney General Merrick Garland addressed the nation on this subject for the first time and stated, without giving particular names, that among the hundreds of active criminal charges being prepared, there are 17 counts of inciting the insurrection. What this means is that those, like Trump and his close allies, who took direct action to plan and attempt a coup to overthrow Congress, are being investigated in preparation for criminal charges being pressed against them individually. This has never happened in the history of the United States before. In our final world news item, at least 3 people have been killed so far in the Sudan, where citizens are protesting the government. Again, this is caused by discriminatory, draconian, and punitive actions against the population by the government. This situation just began 2 days ago, and it looks to be ramping up to be a major uprising. We will continue to give you updates as the situation unfolds. TGSN has a very unique audience. You, our dedicated viewers and newcomers to TGS, care deeply about your own communities, but also have an awareness and a concern for people worldwide. As brothers and sisters of the human race, we must all work to support each other and do everything we can to help those who are disenfranchised, threatened, or harmed in their lives. Reporting for TGSN, I'm Kenneth Ludden, and now we'll return to our guest and our interview program. Thank you.
She rolling with me, now she know my whip. top. Ready or not, I got my bros straight from the top. Ready or not.
Ready? No, I got all my bands on, no. I'm just making all this money, yeah, I'm cashing up. All my niggas in the street tryna get it all. All my niggas by the go up, yeah, we get it all. This shit, hunters, no. Making money, oh no.
This is the Global Sunday. We'd like to welcome you all. This is Lihle, your co-host for today. I'm the ambassador of Diverse TV. We'd like to welcome everyone and our guest for today. So welcome everyone.
Welcome.
Thank you, Sis Lihle.
Thank you. So Mr. Mrabalala, I would like to ask a question. In our TGS panel, we've been learning about the different townships of South Africa and how they have shaped the character and brought out the gifts of people. How being born in Eastern Cape, the Tsana township shaped you?
Thank you, Sis Lihle, for your question. For to grow up in the Eastern Cape, that is Tsana, it's a small village under the town called Maclear. It shaped me. I learned a lot of things whereby I learned how to live with people, and I learned respect. I learned to love each other as people. You know, when you have you don't have something in the rural areas, you know where to run, and you run to your neighbor. Your neighbor will give what you don't have. This is how I learned to live with people and have love to each other and helping each other as well.
That's great.
So the concept of growing up in a certain community shapes us all. And I feel very strongly what you said, that it's important how you connect to which person and how you feel sometimes having someone having your back, having you be connected. It's very important, actually. And you mentioned the strength of love, and it can make you go beyond your strength and do a lot of things. I really agree that this is essential. Feeling your origin, but also feeling connected and feeling love.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed to be part of the panel today. My musical background was through church. So even though I've gone on to other things, this is your genre, and I'd like to hear your philosophy about working in towards enhancing praise and worship in the church area, and also the fact that I think when we're young and many of us are vigorously attending churches, etc., that we're very impacted and drawn, and if we're musical as well, we sort of put our talents towards enhancing services and that. So is that something that happened to you at an early age?
Can you repeat your question? You break in somewhere somehow, so I don't get you clear.
You need to repeat your question. I couldn't hear you.
I just started off saying that I relate to the church being the laboratory, the background, the starting point for many artists, and you've obviously into your adult continued with it. So, is there something driving you for that?
Yes, I grew up in the church. When you have a granny and a opa, there is no way they will force you to church on Sunday. So I grew up in the church, but when the time goes, I decided to choose how to live life. So I became a born again Christian, whereby I accepted the Lord as Lord and Savior of my life, and that's where all these things get started.
I also have a background in music in the church. As well as sing with a family, and I sang classical church music until I had a surgery on my throat, and then I really couldn't do that anymore, and I was invited to start singing gospel, and so I came into my awareness of gospel very late in life, but I again was introduced to music in the church. For you, you discovered your talent when you were very young, and you discovered it singing gospel. And when Spirit took over and raised you up, that incredible moment when, you're singing a song and suddenly you're not singing a song, you're changing the universe somehow and you're connecting. What did that feel like at that young age?
It was a very, very, very nice moment at the early age working for God, or at the early age used by God and following in His way. I've been doing this for a while. I even joined the groups, the gospel local groups. But when time goes by, I decided to do it my own music, whereby I started to in 2003. I have that's where I started to record my first album. Then in 2015, I recorded my second album. Then in 2020, I recorded my third album. That is the one that I'm busy with now. I'm trying to do the interviews, etc.
So, as you were developing this amazing career, you moved from Eastern Cape. And what happened? Why did you move?
I moved from Eastern Cape to Cape Town because the Eastern Cape is very small and there's no way that you can get out. So I moved from the Eastern Cape to Cape Town to get the better quality of studios and to meet people that are already in the industry and to look for work as well. But at the end of the day, I fall in love with music in Cape Town.
So when people move, I've moved a few times, and I know a lot of people. There's big changes. Do you think coming to the Eastern Cape was advantageous if you look back, or it just developed a different way perhaps than it would have if you stayed where you had been?
Yeah, for me for moving from Eastern Cape, it was a good move, and then.
Yeah. I think we're going to lead into another news.
Because now because of there's a lot. Sorry.
Oh no, we're finishing your comment. I was just saying that we're now going to lead into another news segment by Mr. Ken Lennon.
All right.
She rolling with me, now she know my whip. They rolling on me, now down my wrist. I got bangs, blast, relics. Ready, 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 ready. Ready or not, we coming hard, straight from the top. Ready or not. I got my bro straight from the tour. Ready or not.
Ready? No, I got all my bands on, no. I'm just making all this money, yeah, I'm cashing up. All my niggas in the street tryna get it all. All my niggas by the go up, yeah, we get it all. This shit, hunters, no. Making money, oh no.
Welcome back to our second segment of the Global Sunday News, in which we cover the COVID pandemic. The Omicron variant of COVID has rapidly spread across the globe, and everything about Omicron variant appears to be just that, rapid. In South Africa, where superior virus identification, testing, and tracking is practiced, it's one of the nations where the variant was first detected because of this superior tracking. The Omicron wave appears to have crested and is in rapid retreat. This has allowed initial studies of this variant to quickly produce initial findings. Two very important of these initial findings are that the variant spreads quickly but also recedes quickly, which has resulted in global infections to increase at rates hundreds of times quicker than even the Delta Plus variant, exploding the total number of new cases. The second initial finding is that while the rate of infection is exponentially greater than all earlier variants, the virus variant does not damage the lungs as much and therefore is far less lethal. This is evident in the concrete statistics in South Africa. While infection rates were hundreds of times greater with this variant, the deaths only just doubled. Now that sounds terrible that deaths have doubled, but the deaths did not increase by hundreds of times. And so this is good. But even so, hospitals and clinics have become stretched to beyond their capacities around the world. And though the good news of that is the intensive care units have not been as they were with earlier variants. Do not think that this means that you can let down your guard. The Omicron variant is still causing thousands of deaths per day in individual countries across the globe, bringing the global daily total to tens of thousands of deaths. In France, now, their parliament is working on new restrictions which will make life very difficult for those who refuse vaccination, who have taken to the streets in protest across that country now in response, crying out for personal freedoms and liberty, and rallying against government efforts to keep the population safe, healthy, and alive. It is in these unvaccinated populations which spawn the emergence of new variants. And until there is near total vaccination, more and more variants will develop. Now, this is a difficult conversation. Those who are opposed to the vaccination see it as an infringement on their personal rights. They also are seeing that they are having what is earlier to mankind, more than 2 years ago, unknown ingredients injected into them. And the development of the vaccine has been the mRNA development, which is different than the earlier ones. Now, earlier vaccines actually injected parts of the virus into the person. And so where there were problem reactions to the vaccine, it was because of a reaction to the actual virus. In an mRNA vaccine, the actual virus is not injected into the body. It is the protein outside of it, like the skin of your body. And the body is taught with the mRNA markers to recognize that kind of envelope of a virus and reject it. So the body isn't dealing directly with the virus. Now, this is all science, but people feel that they are being told what to do by governments. And as you see from our first news segment, that there is a pushback against government control all over the world. And so this is a big problem. Now, those who are proponents of being vaccinated look at it in a scientific way. If you have a pool of people that is infected, that infection gets to spread back and forth, and you know how it is in a school class of children. One of them gets the virus, the other one gets the virus, another one gets the virus, the first one gets it again. It goes round and round, and the virus keeps changing to be able to do that. And so the only way to make the virus not change is to have everybody vaccinated so that nobody can get the virus, and then it will die out, as we have done with things like measles and smallpox and different infections. Cholera are very, very rare now because of widespread vaccination. But it is a very, very difficult conversation because it's apples and oranges. The people that don't want vaccination don't want to be forced to do something that they don't know what it is. The people that do propose vaccination want to make sure that this disease is stopped in its tracks and other people don't get sick. And so it is a very contentious debate. Now, one of the vaccine opponents is Novak Djokovic. Okay, he's the #1 tennis player in the world. Now, he is in Australia to attend a major tennis competition, but has been detained in a COVID quarantine hotel due to violating the Australian COVID travel and entry policies. His parents have lodged official protests, and on Monday, tomorrow, there will be a hearing in a court about his case to determine if he will be allowed entry into that country and to compete, or if he will be forced to leave without playing. In our final story about COVID this week, we're going to look at the airline industry globally, which has been hit very hard by the COVID pandemic. When they canceled all flights to South Africa because of the new variant, that drastically changed and harmed the entire South African economy. This also makes airlines be basically put in a static position where they're not flying. Or if they are flying, there are very few people. And so that can make the cost of a ticket go up because it's the same amount of fuel that the airplane uses, the same amount of pilots, etc., even when there are very few passengers. Well, what has happened now is that the Cathay Airlines of Hong Kong is facing the possibility of closing business operations permanently. Recently, one of the flight service crew violated the Cathay airline policy about COVID, and what has sparked a massive spread of the disease in Hong Kong, which is an island and therefore must be cautiously protected much more than continents. As a result, all airline operations have been forced to close down, making the Hong Kong airport into a ghost town of empty corridors, boarding gates, and shops. The economic impact is potentially fatal to Cathay Airlines, one of the main carriers that services Asia and Oceania. Okay, this will greatly reshape the look of future airline service companies around the world. As you go forward, stay informed. Don't simply think from your point of view. Try to consider all points of view when you develop your decisions about what you want to do with your status in this COVID time. It is affecting everybody. It is very difficult. And when you are isolated, when you are quarantined, when you are out of work, when you are food insecure, it's not a very good time to try to think things through and make a decision because everybody is reacting. Let's embrace each other. Let's support each other. Very important, listen to each other. Don't reject someone's approach because it's not your own. Understand that their approach is as sacred to them as yours is to you. And what we must all do is find a way to come together and to be in harmony with each other, whatever opinion you have, and then to do things that honor the other's position, even if you do not share it. I'm Kenneth Ludden. Thank you for watching the Global Sunday News, and now we will return to our program.
siyathandana singamathe nolimi yeah awethu nasobabili siyathandana singamathe nolimi yeah awethu nasobabili siyathandana njengamathe nolimi we from isuka lentaba ngicela ukukubona ngavele ngasangana ngathi uye lona umakondana wami angiyasifela ngawe yabona umuntu wakunemalening thina amashada siye Paris njengopixul sidla inyama eningi shade photos vala marketing ay thina amashada siye Paris njengopixul sidla inyama eningi yabona umuntu wakunemalening shade photos vala marketing yabona umuntu wakunemalening thina amashada siye Paris njengopixul sidla inyama eningi shade photos vala marketing ay thina amashada siye Paris njengopixul sidla inyama eningi yabona umuntu wakunemalening shade photos vala marketing uyalona 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 amashada siye Paris njengopixul sidla inyama eningi shade photos vala marketing ay thina amashada siye Paris njengopixul sidla inyama eningi yabona umuntu wakunemali eningi shade photos vala marketing yabona umuntu wakunemali eningi thina amashada siye Paris njengopixul sidla inyama eningi shade photos vala marketing ay thina amashada siye Paris njengopixul sidla inyama eningi yabona umuntu wakunemali eningi shade photos vala marketing uyalona 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 uyalona
Well, welcome back to the Global Sunday. I'm very thrilled it is Sunday. I normally do the broadcast and it's Monday. So we've got a question coming up we'd like to ask our special guest today. In the gospel genre and gospel music, was there somebody that really inspired you as you were growing up?
All right, thanks for the question. I grew up looking at Mr. Vuyomkwena. He's a South African gospel icon. He passed on, I think, 3-4 years back. So he was the one who was wishing at my old age. It's like he was doing very well. Music was held by God. So he's the one that I was looking up to when I was growing up. Mr. Vuyo Mkwena.
Okay, look, it looks like we're having a little bit of a feed problem coming from our guest. The internet service is interrupting the feed, so we're not really hearing clearly what you're saying. Would you mind? You seem to be frozen. So it's always very inspiring, when you find an iconic person who's a leader in a field, and it really wakes you up to that field. And I think that the world is very lucky that you had that South African gospel icon in your life, that to guide you. Okay, and I believe now we have your audio back again. We lost you there for a few moments, sir. Okay, Mr. K, please go ahead with what you were saying. If you might want to restate it so we could hear it more clearly.
All right. Yeah, I can also see that the network is giving us a problem. What I was saying is that I grew up, and when I was growing up, I look up to a gospel icon called Vuyonkwena. He was born here in South Africa. He's the person who inspires me very well. He was doing very well, good music, beautiful voice, and he was recording his music to the one who I am. Like, I was following him very too much. Yeah.
Okay, it's what you were saying reminds me of the importance of having a direct experience with someone. That is something that is difficult nowadays because we have to go and be on a video feed or on audio or doing a tutorial. And I always felt that being with someone in the same space or hearing or interacting and having the presence makes such a big difference. And what it does to me personally, and it might be because I'm a dancer and a person reacting to that, my brain, my whole body remembers what happened. And it's so present in my brain that it allows me to go forward when I do things myself, having this almost like in the back, like not the Christmas tree now, but it's the kind of image that is brought up. And I believe what you were saying is that this very special person, and also having something believe in you and having look at you, is very important. Did I get you right?
Yes.
We all go forward in this, and one of the things about singing, and particularly singing church music, is that everybody is there, and even in this COVID pandemic, they found ways of having church congregations to assemble, and sort of going off of what people just said is that, that in-person experience is so important, and particularly with gospel music. Because with gospel music, you sing the song, you rehearse the song, and then when the Spirit comes, you stay with it, you develop it, you let the Spirit take that song wherever it's going to go. Every year in the United States, up until COVID, they had the International Gospel Conference in New Orleans. And every time they do that, they put out an album. And I recommend everybody that's listening to this to look up those albums and order a copy. They are amazing because it's gospel from all over the world. Becoming part of that and knowing then what the moment that you knew, this is what I am going to do with my life. Talk about that moment. Talk about that moment where you really committed to doing this as your life's work.
Thank you for the question. As I said before, I started singing in the early age, and with people and all those things. and I decided to do my own project. For me, working for God is a very good thing because I do things according to His will. I do things according to His commandments and all those things. So it helps me a lot. I even what can I say? I'm always indoors, not out there to do crimes as a young person. So for me, singing for God, for me, sing His word through music, it's a very good thing. This is how I preach. This is how I spread the word. This is how I let people know about the living God. Thank you.
Is it a large choir that you often work in? In my country, they certainly have choirs, but in general, it's not quite large. Is it in your church or your celebrations? Are they large choirs that you are singing in?
Yeah, in my church is a large choir. It's a large choir. I think we are plus minus 20 members.
Okay. And is there
Yeah.
some? Are you doing the musical direction for that choir, or is somebody else doing that and arranging and conducting the choir?
Can you repeat your question, sir?
Is there a musical director, or is that you? Are you the musical director of the?
Yeah, there is someone directing the choir. I'm just the member of the church choir. Yes, there's someone who's directing the choir.
Okay.
So you make me think of a experience I had with Ken Ludden, but also with David Pike. And in 2018, we were also having meetings in a church. And we did some recordings in that church that till this day, the sound of the church is beyond anything I found that you can create with a digital plug-in or a special microphone. We had a recorder and we were sitting together in that space and he was speaking and everything was in that what he was saying, but it was also in that space. So when you just mentioned the church and for you God, also it is like there's a house of God or house for God that reflects that, that needs that specifically. And is that something that you also experience, that how the architecture and the space helps you?
Yes. It's one of those things.
I thought so, because when you just mentioned it, it made me immediately be aware of that, what's around us. And sometimes it's good to change environment and test it and hear your sound and your voice, maybe in other spaces, that once you can go back, you actually feel how you miss that. Is there anything you refer to that in the past 2 years when you were able to go and sing again, how you felt about it? Let me rephrase the question, because when you sing at home or when you sing together in the choir, how do you feel is the difference? And when you sing in the church?
When I sing at home, it's totally different. And when I sing at the church, because when I sing at the church, of course, yes, there is an instrument that is backing us up, and we are in the presence of God, whereby we see people get healed, and we see people
Okay, so it looks like we're having a internet. Like you're standing in the bar and you're waiting to get a drink, order, and you wait.
Amazing things. So I'm said, but at the same time.
Okay, you're back. We just had a little cue in the audio, Mr. K. Lichle, let's move to you.
Even on my side, I also coming from a prayerful family, and yes, it's different. It's different when you sing at church and when you sing it at home. Because when you sing it at home, you're alone. You get to scream. You get to be yourself. But when you at church, there are people you're singing together as a group. Because I'm also in a choir at church where I go to church. So yeah, and I also. Growing up, I also looked up to Mam Rebecca and Vuyo Mokoena. There's this song that I used to love, and I still even love it even now. They say, Avulega Mazulu, yes, Ingoyama, Angivelege Zedaba, Basha Lembi Fula. Yo, it was such an amazing song, and I still love it even now. So yeah.
That's lovely. Beautiful. So let's check one of the rhythm video. Right? Lungani, can we also check in with one of the next videos? Do you still have something for us on your menu?
Yes.
What is your gift? What do you have? What are you bringing to the table? What's your contribution to African storytelling, to the world? They must know Africa is awakening. If you look around us, Africa is awakening. So
I'm part of the group Tilo, the African Thunder, whereby ngicula isoprano. Guys, ngicela nifike mhla ka-20 nizojabula kanye nathi kube kumnandi kakhulu guys, nifike namakhula box ekugcwala indawo, kube happy, kube mnandi sonke siphelele sonke. Ngicela nifike nisupport Tilo.
Hello, this is Tilo, the Lion Queen Omhlanubanzi. I am your Nubian gypsy and I'm the lioness behind African Thunder. Sila 8 Deni, rehearsing in studio for the Unplugged session on the 20th, as you can hear. So the style of music that we've worked towards, ngithanda music or captureisha ubuciko bamaZulu base Africa. Ngizalelwe emndenini half owesiZulu, half owesiswati. Ngiyafisa nokuphuma kwamanye amazwe amanye ase Africa. Siqale ngeAfrican Thunder, iAfrican Thunder sayixubanisa mawilalela iyaxoxa ama-Africa indlela axoxelana ngayo indaba and pass down the heritage from generation to generation is via folklore. This current song is called Mhlanubanzi. It's made up of iThakazelo zakashangase ekhaya lami ngizalelwa kulona. The whole song chronicles the devastating and amazing things that our forefathers used to do and became famous for. Mhlanubanzi ngokubeletha amakhosi is a poetic acclamation to the strong backs of the mothers who carried the kings in the Shangase lineage as children. And here it goes. Enjoy! So Lolusuku is about celebrating, Lolusuku selinqumile is about celebrating amagugu ase-Africa. Ngayo yonke indlela ngenibona ukuthi makuhlangene umndeni kuba mnandi kanjani emcimbini makukhona into eyenzakalayo. Abantu abesintu abantu abanesiqu esimnandi abayi-expressa kakhulu ngomusic ngey'nganekwane so besixube sonke. Basically storytelling. We are
taking back African storytelling and putting it back in the hands of the African youth. We want to be practicing and perfecting our craft so that, and celebrating what we're making with the people, we're involving everybody in the process of that creation so that, you know, as you enjoy it, as you listen, as you see it on TV, you know you're a part of it, so don't miss out. Do yourself a favor, you'll thank me later. Come again, guys.
I'm ready. Welcome back to the Global Sunday Show. Let's get to everyone. Let's check the viewers at home with Lungani.
Thank you, there. Thank you, there. Mamlihle. Kanjani ngibizwa ngomamlihle? Thank you so much. Let's see who we have at home. I know people are trying to communicate with me, and I'm just like, you know, so focused on the technical part of the world. I'm getting stuck. And yeah, I can see still we don't have comments on screen. But I'm quickly gonna go to our Facebook page and just grab people from Facebook. If you are on YouTube, shout out to you if you're watching on YouTube, but I'm gonna grab people from Facebook right now. Let us see. I see comments from my side. Okay, but comments are not here on screen. It's like here. You see here? Here, there's supposed to be comments here on screen so everybody can be able to see, but they're not there for some reason. But it's okay. It's okay. I can see them down here too. Nangi Hidali. Wow, very good. Yes, indeed, very good indeed. What does hle mean? What does hle mean? Hey, ungajumpisi. Greetings, my family. Wow, good job. I need to know how much is return flight to UK from SA. Aibo, who is from UK from SA? Are you, Lise, are you from UK? I don't know who's from UK. But anyways, let's see. Beautiful. Welcome to the show, sir. I'm a fan of gospel. That's what it is. Okay. Those are the comments. Please let me know what you think of Mr. K, our special guest today. He's all the way from South Africa. He's a gospel singer, and he's so amazing. Let's see how the internet is gonna treat us there in South Africa. I know Mr. K is in KZN and Lihle is in Johannesburg. So we give a round of applause to Johannesburg Signal, Johannesburg internet or Wi-Fi, whatever you want to call it. So we gotta do some work there, lapha Durban or KZN. But let me toss it back to Ulihle. Lihle, I know maybe you might have a question or a comment, or Mr. People, or whatever is going there at the studio. I'm just having fun looking at you guys. Enjoy, and I'm taking it back to you. Shout out to you guys who are watching at home.
Oh, thank you, Rani. And is there something you wanted to add? You're still in the center of attention. I can see in the screen.
Yes, there's something that I would like to add, or I would like to ask on my side. So, Baba Mrabalala, in your album, what is...
Okay, so that just reminds me of my flight to the US, and things are going on. But what are you going to do? In the end, you will arrive. And that's what it is about. I must say, I want to give a shout out here, and I want to give a shout out to my grandma. She's not on this planet anymore, but whenever I go to a church, Mr. Mrabalala, I think
Yes,
of my
sir.
grandmother, and I light a candle, and just being in the church already makes me connect to her. I think you are a very lucky person that you are able to sing in a church. I feel very lucky to meet you here, and maybe, hopefully, also someday in person, actually. I want to try and let's pray to the gods of internet that it will work and ask you one last question from my side, or maybe another one, because I'm known not to be, next to Lungani, I'm also a loudspeaker. So we talk, and
Right.
but I'm curious. Are you ready? Can I shoot the next question?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So, how do you write a new song? What helps you? Tell us the recipe, the secret, please.
And thank you for the question. To be honest, I don't write the song. The song just came, and immediately when the song came, I have to have my phone to record the lyrics and the way that I'm going to sing the song when I'm going to studio. I don't write the song because of I'm in trouble or because of I'm facing a problem or a challenge, no. But my songs are only just coming out of, I can say coming out of nowhere. I think the Spirit of the Lord is helping me a lot in that of writing songs. But I don't write a song because of the situation that I'm into or because of the problem that I'm facing. That is why I'm saying I have to have my phone when the song comes, then I record the song immediately.
I've always, I have written music, I've written books, I've written poems, and I do choreography. And my experience is exactly the same. I might have an idea, something from my intellect, but when it actually comes, when the real work comes, it doesn't come, it comes through me. It doesn't come from me. And so I really understand that. And I always say to the young kids, don't try to make the choreography. Don't try to write your paper. Let the choreography happen. Let the song happen. And that's when you're going to get your best work.
That's correct.
I've got a question for you, Mr. Mrabalala. Ukuthula, did I pronounce that correctly? Ukuthula, the new album, which is translated to the word peace. Is that the way to say it?
Can you repeat the question, sir?
The new album, I think that you're a part of, Ukuthula, is that the way to say it? It means...
Yes, Ukuthula is my new album, yes.
Yes, can you tell us, it's recently released, can you tell us the story behind the making of this album?
All right, thanks for the question. In 2019, early 2019, I recorded a single song called Nkulunkulu. It's track number 5 in my album. Then end of 2019, when I was continuing in studio, the COVID came in South Africa and everybody was like, we're not used in this thing of COVID-19. But then the story behind the album, I was tested positive while I was continuing with my album in studio, but I quarantined, then God helped me in that one. I came right. So I named my album because of my health. My health in 2019 and 2020 was not good at all, but because of I give it all to God and I trust Him in any ways. So He helped me out, and I get healed. Now that is why I called my album Ugutula. When you let everything to God, God will take care of the things and things will come right. So that is why I named my album Ugutula. It's because of I was thinking that now I'm dying, but God help me out.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. God is good all the time. And
Yes.
we're so glad that you are here with us today. And he did answer your prayers. And thanks to that.
Hallelujah.
No, no, never, never. COVID, never been in that kind of situation.
I think there is a child in need, and the child in need is always more important than anything else. But I also have to say I ate a banana, and you see that really changed everything because I didn't have breakfast today.
It's not the person.
For kind of different reasons that probably no one wants to know. But I'm gonna add on this what you just said. It reminds me of a conversation I had with Mr. Pike, and we were walking on the trail, right? And we said, you gotta respond to what's in the moment, you know? Stop your brain and your thoughts and your intellect and have all those conceptions and trust in the bigger picture. If it's called God or the universe or however you want to name it, there is something out there that is far more intelligent than anything that we could come up with. It has this thing, and it puts things into place. And if we're able to trust in this, things fall into place. Also, things fall into place that make us upset because we don't understand them yet. And sometimes in 5 years or in 10 years, we say, oh, if I wouldn't have gone through this thing, I wouldn't have had this revelation. And I think it's very interesting what you said, and I can relate to it that in the arts, we're able to honor that, we can praise that. And if we speak about that to the audience and to the people, and we give out this kind of good energy, hope, trust, love, dedication, it's very, very important what you're working on. So thank you so much for that. Lihle, we have another question, right? Do you have the same one? Or hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
What of all of the singing you've done and all of those experiences, what is your favorite song?
Favorite song to my album. It's track number 1, of course, yes, Ugutula. That's where the reason why that's where I see the power of the Lord.
That's when has the album already come out?
Yes, the album is out early 2021, and you can find my album to all digital stores. It's Mrabalala K, Ugutula. The album is 10 songs or 10 tracks. Yes.
Okay, so I apologize for not knowing that information. That it's my job to already know that, so I apologize to have to ask. It's also available internationally, I hope, online. Is that true?
Yes, it's available to the online stores, yes.
That's wonderful. So I have a question about working together. Now, of course, church music and gospel music, even the solos are all about connecting. But as an artist, as a recording artist and a performing artist, if you would be able to collaborate with anyone, living or dead, or even maybe imaginary, a fictional character, who would that be that you would do a collaboration with, and what would the collaboration contain?
Thanks for the question. If I may cooperate, I would like to. There's a South African gospel artist called Dumim Kokstedt.
Okay.
Is from the Eastern Cape. So I would like to share the studio with him, and I would like to cooperate with him. He's a very good artist. He's moving by God. He's doing very well, and I can see him is trusting God like ever before. So if I can work with him, even if it's once, then I'll be happy.
I hope that gets to happen, and hopefully saying that here on this platform, hopefully he's listening and you'll get to do that. I would be very, very excited to hear the results of such a collaboration.
What sort of backing? I'm looking from the music. There's the gospel singing and the singers involved. What sort of, was it with an organ, or did you have a little orchestra or band or a synthesizer? What did you use on this album?
They use the keyboard.
Keyboards, yeah.
Yeah, they use the keyboard.
Is it a bit like what the way you do it in the church as well? You have a keyboardist and you sing with
Yes,
the
yes, we are doing the same. We are doing like the same in the church.
Yeah, that's great. And how did you find? I know a lot of artists get very, very stressed in studios when they go and do an album. When an artist normally goes into a studio, it can be very, very stressful. If they're used to singing in church and they haven't sung in a studio, they have a microphone and they know it's being recorded. What were the people with you and you yourself? Were you nervous, or did you just go there and just in a way it was like being in church and you were in the moment? And you didn't worry too much about nerves.
Thank you for the question. You know, when you work for God, you're not doing things for yourself. So for me, going to studio, I was so nervous. The reason why, it's because of, first thing first, when you record whatever song that you're recording, the song must you must feel the song. You don't just record because of you have a beautiful voice or whatever the case may be, but you must feel the song. You must feel the message. The song must work within you before you go to studio. Then when you get there, before you do anything, you pray, you invite God's presence, you invite God to guide and to lead you, and with the people that you are going to work with. So for me to go to studio, I was so nervous, but by the help of God, I made it.
So apart from singing, I saw that you were also featured We Deep City. How was it? How was the experience?
Miss Lisha, thank you for the question. The experience was very exciting, you know, to be behind the cameras and you be on TV. People will take you like, yeah, you are the celebrity, even if you're not the celebrity, because I was a featured extra. And so people, they love it, and myself as well, because it was something that I didn't know that can happen to me. So I thank God for that.
Wow. Wow.
Thank you
Yeah.
for reminding us that it's helpful also through the actual formats digitally that we can listen to your music, you know, and bring it into our homes. I have a last question from my side, and
yes, sir.
It refers to the young people, that the things that we can pass on. And what advice would you give to young people out there who are hoping to join the gospel music industry one day?
Thank you for the question. My advice is you have to trust and believe in yourself. And of course, yes, you believe in God. And it's not easy because you must have a heart of loving people, because you can record the song and send the song to your friend to listen to it. Then your friend will come with another story that, no man, this song is not going to work. But if you believe in yourself and you believe in your craft, there's nothing that can change you. There's nothing that can stand on your way. That is my advice to the person who likes to be in the industry.
Okay, so we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to return to this conversation with our very special featured guest. We'll see you at the other side of this break.
She rolling with me, now she know my whip. They rolling on me, now down my wrist. I got bangs, lights, relics. Ready, 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 ready. Ready or not, we coming hard, straight from the top. Ready or not, I got my bros straight from the top. Ready or not, ready or not, ready or not.
Ready? No, I got all my bands on, no. I'm just making all this money, yeah, I'm cashing up. All my niggas in the street tryna get it all. All my niggas by the guap, yeah, we get it all. This shit, hundreds, no. Making money, oh no.
Welcome back to the Global Sunday. Mr. Mrabalala, I have a question for you. So what challenges do you face as a gospel singer?
Thanks, Ms. Lihle, for the question. Lucky enough, I'm working under the company. So the company is the one that is doing everything for me. It's just phone call away. Then they tell me what to do and where and when. So somewhere, somehow, I don't have any experience about the challenges because I have a company that I'm working under.
Okay.
I am on the script. I'm supposed to comment, and I turned off the heater in the room we're in, but the blower was going, and I couldn't hear. I don't know why. Now it stopped. Now I can.
Challenges.
You were talking about challenges. I didn't hear what you said, but I think I heard that if you do it correctly, it's not about the challenges or something to that effect. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Okay, so
God's help.
Okay, so I'm going to face this challenge right now, being on air and having no idea what he just said, and I'm supposed to respond. And I'm going to just turn it over to God and say, I hope that. Where can people find you? Your music. Can they communicate with you directly? Can they, keep up with what's happening in your life on one of the social media platforms? How do they find you?
Thanks for the question, sir. They can find me on the social networks. On Facebook, I'm Mankind Mrabalala. I'm Kangalani Mankind Mrabalala on Facebook. And they can find me as well on WhatsApp, 078 296 2898. They can also email me. It's Mankind Mrabalala 579@gmail.com. Yes, they can also find my music, as I said before, to all digital platforms. They just search Mrabalala K, Ukuthula. The album is there. 10 beautiful songs. God is moving like ever before. People will get healed. God will answer their prayers and all those things. That's where they can find my music.
So that I think that's fantastic. And also, you said that when you were, just starting to make your album before in 2019, you actually got COVID. Speaking of COVID, COVID has drastically changed our world, and now it's been 2 years going into the third year. How has this COVID pandemic impacted you, your career, your work, etc.?
Thanks for the question, sir. We're living in I don't know what can I say, but COVID-19 really changed our lives, changed our lifestyles, and COVID-19 just changed everything. Now that it's been 2 years living under this COVID-19, we thank God that we are still alive and feeling sorry for those who lost their family members and their loved ones. So all I can say is that COVID-19 changed everything.
Did your choir have to stop meeting for a while over the period? Did they have a lockdown, or did you manage to find a way to get together and rehearse somehow?
When we had to stop in the church because of the COVID numbers. Sometimes the government will tell us we must be 50 or 100. The thing is going up and down. So yeah, we still continuing going to church, but it's not the same like before the COVID came. So a lot of things changed when this COVID-19, it's like, I don't know what can I say, but the COVID-19 changed everything in this world.
And what are you working on right now?
I'm working on to the fourth album, but still preparing the songs and doing the research where I'm going to record, because that also helped to get the studio that has a quality, not just go to the studio, then you pay the money. At the end of the day, they don't do what you want. So we have to do the researches and all those things. I'm working on for the next album, and at the same time, I'm still pushing the Ubuntu one.
I just hope I'll be featured. I just hope I'll be featured in one of your songs, right?
No, that is not a problem. We can talk about this. That is not a problem.
I started singing at a young age. I love music. Music, it keeps me going. It lifts up my spirit. Like you, music umnandi kakhulu futhi.
So you mentioned how important it is to create something when you go to the studio and make a new album that matters or that there's quality. It reminds me of a choreographer, Koen Augustingen, who was with Le Ballet C de la B. So that is Alain Platel. Who's the other one, Ken? The Dutch choreographer. No, the new one, the contemporary.
I don't know. I don't.
Okay, so we talked about many times about the choreographer, Ken and I. He's very famous.
Yes.
He just went to Switzerland to become a new director, and they all got together and have the same agent called Les Ballets C de la B, which means Les Ballets Contemporains de la Belgique. And I saw a choreography and I was impressed. It had choir and singing. And afterwards I went, behind the stage and I talked to him and I asked him, what makes you do a new work? And he said, I only go and create a new work if I have something to say to the public. How do you refer to that, Mr. K, Mrabalala?
Yes. When you have something new to tell the people, then that's where you if you are a musician, that's where you go to studio, or as he talking about a choreographer, that's where he start to do his new project. I agree with that.
I've done a lot of choreographic work for churches, and actually I've choreographed works that can be improvised to be done with gospel music. I don't know. The singers and the artists here will understand. For the public, I mentioned it before. With the gospel music, you have the form of the song. You have the song. You rehearsed it. But when that moment that spirit comes, you might repeat a section for a long time. You might, elongate a solo. Anything can happen, and you have to really feel what's going on and go with it. And I've had the great honor and trust of being engaged to choreograph dance in that environment. And you have to be so present. You really have to feel not just what you're feeling, but what the other performers are feeling and what the audience is feeling. And it's sort of like swimming in the ocean. You can't just do your swims technique, because a wave is going to come and a current's going to come. And it's so exciting. And I wish I had been there in Belgium with you, Pipo. And are you talking about Sidi Larbi?
Sidi Larbi.
Oh,
they shared the same agent.
Okay.
Called them Les Ballets Labé.
I didn't know he was Dutch. So I didn't have any idea who that was. At any rate, how much have you collaborated with dance and other art forms, Mr. K?
Can you repeat yourself?
How much have you done gospel singing with dance collaboration before?
No. I haven't been done that.
Does your choir, I've noticed some choirs, they really move on as a group when they're singing. Does your choir stand, or do they move with this music that you're creating?
Does the choir have movements that they do with the song, or do they just stand and sing?
No, they just stand and sing.
I wonder if that's maybe an American thing, because all the American choirs are, doing all this choreography all the time. So we have a tradition in the show where we give our last words, and our guest goes last. I just want to say that I think that today, when technology was fighting us and COVID is fighting us, I think we have a very good example that God is the director of the Global Sunday Show today. It's gotten us through to this point. I want to thank our guests. I want to also thank and give great deal of gratitude to all of the ambassadors out there, but specifically Lithle, if I said that correctly.
You did. Yes, you did. Wow.
Okay, record that and then play the recording every time I say her name, because it's the only time I'll say it right. Okay, and so I'm going to pass it on to you, Lithle. What is your final word for this episode?
Today's show was great. I'm really grateful to be part of the panel as well. So thank you so much, Mr. Mrabalala, and thanks for the great music.
Okay, so
thanks to everyone.
on the panel, to say my last words, I feel thank you, David, for respecting my space today on this couch, and I feel grateful to be in touch with great artists. Lungani for doing the show, for keeping the peaceful mind when it's just about to happen. Grateful for Ken, who has ideas and puts them into the world. For David, who also, Mr. K, he plays the music coming through him. It's beautiful, like when he is playing with the trumpet. And Liefle also was a pleasure to meet you for the first time. Big shout out for all those who help us to travel again. That's really important. And last but not least, Mr. K, it's beautiful to meet you here, to be talking with each other. I wouldn't want to miss it, to be in touch and be on the Global Sunday and connect with other artists. So bless you for your work, and thank you so much for taking time today to be with us. And I'll just pass it on to Australia.
Australia. Yes, Mr. Pepper is so correct. We are thrilled to be able to come to Arizona, live to you. I know that you're in South Africa. We're very happy with the time slot, Mr. Lungani. Just a reminder, instead of we're getting a little bit late in South Africa. Mr. K, my response to you, summing things up very quickly, is that there's two things I need to hear when I watch music or hear music or respond to it. I need to hear some sort of meaning in it, or something important that has to be said. That's the first thing. If it has no real meaning, it's just random. Doesn't have any resonance with me. The second most important criteria, maybe even more important, and you've definitely demonstrated that by how you've talked about your work, you must have heart. You must put a heart in it. Some of the best artists that I've ever met, that's the level they go to. Is the music's there, the technique's there, it's all there, but a lot of artists sometimes they forget the heart. And you talked about going into the studio and talked about getting in the zone so that you are responding to your body and your voice is like a vehicle for God's word. So and Miss I'm not as Litle. I don't know. He's very good. Every time I'm
Don't worry, Mr. Little will play it for me, for you.
Forgive us for we know what we say. It's always on the show, we meet new people. You've met me today, but more importantly, I've met you, and that's what Lungani does with this Global Sunday. And we're not talking about a million other things that we can talk about. We're talking about fine musicians, artists, and poets that even in our troubled times enhance the world. And I must commend you again on your lovely little song that you did before as well. Anyway, that's my last words, and I hand it over to our producer, the very debonair and very eloquent Mr. Lungani.
Last words for our guest, Mr. K.
My last words, I thank to Global Sunday for giving me this opportunity. It's a great honor. Thanks you guys as well in the studio. Having a conversation with you was so beautiful. Mrs. Lihle in Joburg, thanks to you too, Siswami. Mr. Lungani, of course, yes. I am Bonge. Mfana Semakhaya, Bonge Mfana Git. So that's my, I thank to everybody, even the listeners at home. So this is good welcoming in 2022. This is a good start for me, for my career as well. So thank you. God bless you.
Yes. Yes. That was Mr. K. Ngiphethe laphayana. Hey, ngiphethe Johannesburg, ngiphethe Australia, ngiphethe iDurban, ngiphethe Arizona, ngiphethe Egypt. Oh yeah. It was hectic today. Yeah, those were lovely words. Thank you so much to all of you guys. Thank you so much, Mr. Pike. Thank you so much, People Tutfeld. Thank you so much, Mr. K. Lithe, welcome. You did very well. Mr. London, thank you so much. Remember, guys, sitting in front of the cameras and talking to when it's like performing. When you perform, this energy of people who are watching you, those eyes, it's like there's plugs that goes into those eyes that draws energy away from you. It's a really amazing thing. So I really honor you guys for taking a stand and sitting in front of a wild audience, a global audience, expressing yourselves and sharing your stories. Thank you so much, Mr. K, for making time. I know it's very late for you and Lihle there in South Africa, but you made this choice and you said, you know what, I'm gonna sit here and speak to the people at home, which is something that I really, really appreciate. Thank you so much. You are part of the family now, Mr. K. When you release something new, you have a new album, you have a new song, you have a new toe that that grew up on your hand. You have a toe on your hand. You let us know. We let your fan know, or we let your fans know. So yeah, welcome to the Global Sunday, and welcome to the family. We're gonna stay in contact, and we're gonna update everybody about what you do, what steps you're taking, and we wish you nothing but the best in your career, in your life, with your family, and especially during these trying times. COVID-19, it's really hectic, it's crazy, but thank you so much to all of you. I can see there Kit Kat, shout out to you, Kit Kat. Let me know where you're watching from. You sending me black hearts. Shout out to you watching from Cape Town. There you go, you are watching from Cape Town. I hope you are doing well. Yes, I'm doing well. Naledi, shout out to you watching in Limpopo. Limpopo, I am so surprised. In Limpopo there is electricity and and there is Wi-Fi. There's Wi-Fi, there's electricity, and there is data, And I'm so surprised that we're having trouble in KZN. Oh, come on, Mr. K. You cannot do this to me. I promoted Durban and KZN. This month I've been promoting that. And then when we saw the internet lagging, I was like, oh my god, okay, where can I hide? But it's internet, there's nothing we can do. Shout out to you guys in Limpopo. I'm not mocking you guys, I'm just I'm just playing with you. But yeah, I have an announcement to make. In a few weeks time, on the 23rd of January, we're going to be starting the articulation show. We're going to have amazing panels, amazing guests, and we're going to be talking about a lot of important things. It's going to be so amazing. If you want to be part of this amazing show, do send us an email, info@articulation.theglobalsunday.com, and you are going to be part of us. Everyone is allowed, you are welcome. And if you want to support it, also you can do the same thing. You can dial the number +27796734077. That works for only WhatsApp though. Wherever you are in the entire world, it is a very amazing initiative. So you're gonna love it. It's gonna be starting soon, and we have lovely performers, lovely guest panelists. It's just gonna be so amazing. I cannot wait. But for me, Lungani Kwala, I'm just going to say thank you so much. And I will see you next week. Same time, same place, baby. The Global Sunday. But aka Umfana Chocolate Kid, Leo, and I am signing out.
Everything paid for, it's on me. You ain't gotta stress cause you're VIP. Penthouse suite, fresh white sheets. Whatever you like, girl, it's your treat. Shotgun in a guinea. Hit the beach in your tiny bikini. Rickshaw ride, cow skin vibe. Swim with the sharks, baby, it's alright. Girl, you're looking fly today. In every kind of way. Muscany falsetto. Let me take you to the ghetto. You could be my tidal wave. Take me away. Girl, what you say? It's a beautiful day. Welcome to Durban. Welcome to my city, yeah. Welcome to Durban, Durban. Welcome to my city, yeah. Pop champagne, no pity. The sun never sets in my city. We can do shots, yacht life vibes, oyster box, you decide. Life's different near the water. Anything you want, you can order. Copter rides over the ocean. We in slow motion. Girl, you looking fly today in every kind of way. Muscally falsetto. Let me take you to the ghetto. You could be my tidal wave. Take me away. Girl, what you say? It's a beautiful day. Welcome to Durban. Welcome to my city, yeah. Welcome to Durban, Durban. Welcome to my city, yeah. Ooh, Durban City, 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 Durban City. Ooh, Durban City, Durban City, Durban City.